Good day, folks. Everything new under the sun. You're looking at CNBC, your favorite mainstream media news channel, financial channel. This is the chart for gold. Gold has been going up day after day after day. This is incredible. This is the chart for it. All the years that they report back on, you notice how it was generally stable up and through, 2005, 2006. Starts getting bad. Of course, what happened in 2008? Well, we had the financial crash of 2008. There was a bunch of money printing. And as they were money printing, of course, gold went up. People saw trouble. People saw that the money printing would devalue everything, cause hyperinflation, not devalue, but cause hyperinflation, cause prices to go up. And when they print a bunch of money, that means every individual dollar is worth less because you're flooding the money supply with cheap money, with trillions of dollars. Everybody's going to have a little bit more. That way, that means everybody is going to be willing to spend a bit more because they have a bit more money in their pocket now. They have a few more dollars, so they're going to spend a few more dollars on everyday items that they purchase. Now, what does that mean? That means the price of everything starts going up because everybody's willing to pay a little bit more. As soon as you have people unwilling to pay more, that's when prices stop increasing or start going down. But with this increase in the money supply, there's more dollars out there. So that means there's going to be more dollars needed to buy that same ounce of gold. So gold increases in value because, the value of gold doesn't really change. You can buy a nice suit, a really nice suit and a really nice pair of leather shoes right now. And you could have bought a nice suit and a really nice pair of leather shoes, 100, 200 years ago with that same ounce of gold. That's kind of the general idea that people talk about when they talk about the value of gold and silver. The value of the item itself doesn't change all that much. You can buy then what you can buy now, similar things. But with the US dollar, with the actual dollar, the fiat currency, which is just fake money, of course, that hyperinflates over time in comparison to real hard assets, i.e. gold, silver. So that's a short explanation. But, everything was awesome until 2008. And then they started printing money, which caused the price of gold to go up. And it went down for a little while as we got used to what was happening, but then it started going up again. And the last week or so, last couple of weeks, it has been going up. It is sitting at $2,400, which is a significant amount. Here is the 3-month. You just see it going up and up and up. And it's taking off. And some are suggesting that this is the exponential exit really for the price of gold, the time where a gold hyper, the how many dollars you pay for it increases exponentially. Again, because every one of your dollars is less worth less value than it was before. So this is an indicator of economic trouble, obviously. And this is Zero Hedge. GODL. Precious metal soars above 2,400 after sudden gap higher. It says now that rate cuts are off the table, interest on U.S. debt, currently the second biggest government outlay at $1.1 trillion, will surpass Social Security and become the single biggest U.S. expense before the end of 2024, $1.6 trillion. So people start buying gold with all that money because they know the economy is going to collapse at some point. All economies collapse at some point. All fiat currencies collapse and restart. They hyperinflate. You look at Zimbabwe or Myanmar, Germany. These particular places. Is it Myanmar? I think I'm thinking of the wrong thing. But anyways, hyperinflation occurs when the value of the currency goes down and people lose confidence in it. As people lose confidence, they want more and more of the same dollars for the same item because they don't know how much it's going to be worth tomorrow. So it starts a cycle of hyperinflation of prices of things, and that's what we see happening. So that's interesting. That means we're on the precipice of economic collapse. And what are they going to do before this gets out of hand? Well, they're probably going to take us to war. That's going to probably further increase it, but at least they'll be able to blame it on war. They'll be able to blame the Great Depression 2.0 on World War and get away with it. Meanwhile, all the rich people are taken off with all the real assets, and you and I are left with mortgages and debt and dependence on the government. What's happening in Israel? Well, apparently Iran. So that that imminent thing warning that the CIA put out there. Remember, they put an imminent threat warning to Moscow for a terrorist activity on a theater. That took a couple weeks to come to fruition. Could it be the same here, where the CIA intercepted some communique, some chatter about this? Well, sources suggest that, well, the U.S. came and basically talked to Iran and said, look, don't retaliate. If you retaliate on Israel's bombing of your embassy there and the Hamas members, not their embassy, but it was a building right beside the Iranian embassy that took out Hamas members, sons of Hania, I believe it is. And Hania is the top Hamas member, and he lives in United Arab Emirates, or where somewhere over there. Where he's safe and sound, of course, not in the Gaza Strip. Anyways, U.S. went in there, warned Iran not to retaliate, and so Iran has put that off at the last minute because they don't want the U.S. involved in it. Basically, Iran has to get Russia and China ready to go and on board to say that, if U.S. does attack, then Russia, Turkey, China will back up Iran. And I don't think Iran is ready for that. They don't have that agreement yet in place, kind of like NATO, Article 5 of the NATO agreement, constitution, whatever it may be. Iran doesn't have that in writing per se with Russia and China. Russia and China may not necessarily be interested in getting into that battle with and that battlefront, that theater of action against the U.S. To support Iran, which it may or may not agree with in these attacks against Israel. But what else is happening in terms of World War III? Well, Kim Jong-un is telling his country to be ready for war. France also has come out and said, their military leader says, we need to get ready for war. It's no longer something in the future, some vague idea. It is a very real situation. So countries around the world are getting ready for World War III. And, what does the price of gold tell you? It tells you that things are going sideways. The economy is failing, and as gold goes up, so does instability. If gold were down here, well, everything's awesome. The price of oil is awesome. World War, not a big deal. When things are up here, that means that there's trouble brewing, that the fiat currency of the United States, the U.S. dollar, the greenback, the world reserve currency, it is starting to fail. People are losing faith in it. It is becoming worth less and less every day. And so people are going to safe havens, are buying assets, they're paying off their debt, they're getting out of the U.S. dollar, moving into gold. All the central banks are moving there. So again, this is the great indicator that we are in the last days. As you can see on this chart, we entered them fervently in, I think, 2008. That was kind of the beginning of the end of our current economic system. And the history books, I think, will write of 2008 as the beginning of the end. The governments tried to paper it over, but it failed ultimately. And we are headed into Depression 2.0. And that Depression 2.0 is not just going to be a depression unto itself. It's going to trigger war, world economic collapse, world famine, and government control, military control, totalitarianism. All around the world, all the governments will try and keep their civilian populations under control, and all your rights will be removed at this point in time because, for your health and safety, they're going to, lock you down, restrict movement, restrict access to things, and control everything you eat, everything you do, everything you buy and sell. Doesn't that sound like what the Bible describes in the last days? Wars, rumors of wars, famines, earthquakes in diverse places. And the Bible describes all these things, basically the failure of society and absolute worldwide war at the time of the end, basically described in the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, Revelation chapter 6. Read up into that, folks. So this is an alert, a warning. Be prepared. You should have been prepared already. It's too late to be buying gold and silver. I mean, you can buy it now, but My goodness, it's expensive. You would have wanted to buy gold and silver over here when it was cheap and no one cared about it. But now people are alerted to it and they're starting to buy it, which means to get into it now is going to be pricey. Get into other hard assets, so shovels and rakes and tools of all sorts, because when Depression 2.0 comes, you're going to need those physical assets, those things that may not need batteries, so that you can till the ground, so you can farm, so you can garden, hopefully before the government takes away the ability to garden in the name of climate change, which they're trying to do in the UK. But anyways, that's a different subject. I'll leave there, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.